Hello everyone. Okay, so this video is for the people who have already successfully registered their IDs. Their IDs have been activated, and they have done our trial test as well. So I'll basically show you how to go into the platform and how to find your task, because this can be a little bit complicated considering this website is in Chinese. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step detail tutorial, and you need to make sure that you don't click around, because clicking around is going to can make some problem. What kind of problems? Because you can get extra tasks uh, into your account which you might not finish, and which can be a problem for other people, or the same way other people can take away your tasks. And so basically the best way is that you know how many tasks you're taking, how many tasks you're finishing, and once you're done with them, then you can go back and take more. So first we need to log in. We press this button to log in. It'll open a new window. I'm going to use Essen's ID to register, and that's his. Oh, okay, that's not his password. Yeah, so this one's his ID. I'll log in. Okay, now this is where your missions are. Okay, so because right now we are just starting work, and everybody will be just getting individual tasks for the moment, because you still need to go through the QC process. Later on, you will have your own mission over here, your own project over here, in which you will have your own tasks. So you don't need to share it or anything with anyone. But right now, it's kind of a shared one. So what you have to do is just click on the top one. Always remember these numbers. Like this one is 1651. You might have another one. It's shared between different people. So we'll go inside. Okay. So I'll go back again and show it to you again. So, for example, um, Essen has worked on two tasks before. So those two tasks were either in 1433 or 1341. I don't remember, but his new task is in 1651, and it's on the top. So he'll click over here. Now over here, you can see it says 0 by 4. It means there are a total of 4 tasks over here, and you have not taken, or no one has taken any one of them. So what I'll do is that I'll click on this dark blue button. So what does that do? Um, the blue button basically is used to get a new task. This button over here is used to enter a task which you have already, which has already been assigned to you. So I'll click on this dark blue button. So you can see over here, it's yeah. So clicking on that blue button just opened this new project. Okay, so while this project is loading, let me give you a couple of general information about the platform over here. Like, for example, you can see your username over here, and over here as well. Over here, you can change it to English, I think. I don't know. I've never really tried it. You can do it and see if it works out for you or not, or if it's actually English or not. Over here, you will see the file name which you're about to do. So it says here in Chinese is North American English. This two means two people conversation. It's number 4 file, number 4th recording, and 6th file. And GAM means gaming. So the topic will be about video games, and it's recorded on the phone. All of them are recorded on the phone. So yeah. And yeah, so this way you will get a general idea about what topic they're going to talk about as well. And because sometimes some topics you might not be that good at. Maybe you're not a gamer, and they'll talk a lot about games or video games or different popular games, and they might use some terminology, some language which might be related to gaming, which you might not be that good at. So you might need to do a little bit of Google research. If you don't understand any word, always remember, just Google it. You will find that word in most cases. Otherwise, this one over here at the bottom, this one basically means to uh, transfer to the next. Like once you're done with this, so clicking here will submit this task, and you will go over to the next one. Okay. Before, some people had issues where they said that once the QC once the QC once the QC checks their ID, then they're not able to use the save button, right? It will give you an error. So normally it doesn't really matter because you would finish your task and then submit it to the QC. But right now, because you guys are still in the selection phase, the company hasn't finally decided that are you going to work on this project or not. Why? Because you still haven't cleared the QC directly on your own IDs. So it shouldn't be very difficult. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to ask me. And remember one thing: once you're working over here, and for example, you're tired, you don't want to work anymore, you go for dinner, or you turn off your computer. Next time, when you are going to come here, log in, then you're going to click on your once you log in over here, you will come to this place. You're going to click on the task which you chose before. Okay, this one over here hasn't opened completely, so I will show it to you later as well. Because the next time you want to take up a task, you are not going to click over here. For that is for getting a new task. For continuing the old task, you're going to click on this light blue button. So please remember that. Okay, so as you can see over here, our uh, task has been loaded. It took a very, very long time. I think around 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And this can happen sometimes. But it should not be that worrying because once one task's open, then you need to work on it for quite some time. So that should not be a big problem. But what I would recommend is that you guys, when you're planning to work, an hour before that, you should put your task on loading so that by the time you'll start working, you have the task ready right in front of you. And as you can see, this is a new task, completely fresh.
So talking about mobile games, I was never really a big fan of gaming on my phone. I'm more of a PC gamer. I was never really a big fan.
Okay, so that is actually my recording. I think I made it like a year ago or something. I was a little bit confused, like why I'm hearing myself. Okay, so Essen, you will be transcribing my recording. If you don't understand anything, you can always ask me because that should not be a big problem. So you got an easy one. Actually, you know what? I'll do this one myself. This is my task. So I'll be using your ID for some time. All right. So now, just to explain how the whole system works. Now, if I go back over here and refresh this page. Okay, so even though the it opened up over here, so I couldn't see it in my record over there. So I realized that if I so once I work on it, for example, I've worked on a couple of sentences, and I click save. So after I click on save, I mean it's not saving right now because I think I have to make
First, it was just
some
trying to kill.
some more changes. For example, if I just remove this part
I just, yeah,
and I click save, It says successfully saved. Now, after successfully, okay, the last save button, when I clicked, it also worked. You just saw that it. I clicked on OK twice. This is the second time I'm clicking on it. I think I clicked on it 3 times actually. So because you need to just give it some time. Sometimes don't never close this window until you get this save sign, because otherwise you might lose your work. So now if you go back, I've refreshed this page. Now you can see there's a 1 written over here. So this basically means that in project 1651, you have one task. And there are a total of 4 tasks, and out of those 4 tasks, you are using this one task. So another person will go into this task and will take another one and then another one. Right now, everybody should just use one task until we get to the point where all of you get accepted and we get the tasks in bulk. And I hope that time comes very soon, because I've already spent, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days with you guys. Come on, you need to be more quick. So, and once you have saved it and you have closed this task, and now after a couple of hours or the next day you want to work on it again, so what you will do is that you will come to this part, and you're not going to click here, because if you click here, then you will get one more task even before you finished it. So don't do that, because that is something which you can do over here as well. Once you finish, you click over here, it will give you another task and will submit this one. So, so instead of clicking here, you should click over here, and this will take you to a place where you have your tasks which are kind of in your system. So this one, so you can see over here as well, like game phone. So basically it's that gaming task. If you cannot see it completely, you can keep your mouse hover over it and you can see over here. Like for example, Essen did 2 tasks before, and those tasks I think can be seen over here. I think it was in 1341. Let me go. Let me check. So yeah, you can see over here there are 2 tasks which Essen has already finished. So they are over here, but he hasn't. I think he hasn't submitted them. So that's why you can see that over here there is a 2. Okay. Yeah, so that is basically the basic information which you need in order to be able to start the task. Other than that, I have created this Word file which I've also posted on the group. You can take a look at it and you will understand clearly how to transcribe when 2 people are talking at the same time, which is a very common situation. Like you can see over here, speaker A is like blah 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 blah, and speaker B says yes in the middle. Like it kind of interrupts that person in the middle. So how would you transcribe that? You will go blah 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 blah, and right at the point where speaker A said yes, you will write down yes, and then you will continue with speaker A's blah 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 blah. And for example, there's a situation where that yes or any other word kind of makes it impossible for you to understand what speaker A said at that point. So you can just leave an empty space in there. You don't need to transcribe that, but you need to make sure that you actually didn't understand it. There's another way would be that you just make a WhatsApp recording of that sentence or of that box and send it to me as well. You can always post it in the group and ask other people as well. Maybe somebody else will help you out. So we need to make our this Slack group a little bit more active. Like people who have worked with us on our previous project, who are also in this project, would know that how active and how lively our normal work groups are, where everybody's helping each other and I don't know, making jokes, and sometimes it's kind of annoying, but overall it's pretty good because everybody's helping each other out. So I would like you guys to do that as well. Um, so So yeah, so the another situation is where um, we have like speaker A goes blah 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 blah, and speaker B says or 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 haha or any other interjection in the middle. So and speaker B is continuing his conversation. So in this situation, we are just going to transcribe what speaker A said. We are not going to transcribe the interjection. Okay. The second situation is that the same way speaker A is blah blah blah, and speaker B goes la 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 la. So in this situation, you will transcribe the and continue with the la 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 la. And number four situation is A talks, then A and B talk together, and then B continues talking. So there is an overlap in the middle. So you don't need to transcribe that overlapping part. You just transcribe the where A and B are talking by themselves, because that A and B talking at the same time is going to take a lot of your time, waste a lot of time. And I've talked to the company that we're not going to do this kind of transcription. They've agreed for now. Let's see if it continues, but that's a rule for now. And then the last one is actually not the last one. One of the last ones is that if there are some places where you don't understand at all what that person is saying, like there's just no way to understand if that person has, said some kind of a celebrity name or a name of a movie or a place or just some random word, because this is a two-person conversation, and it's really difficult to sometimes make out what that person is saying. So in this kind of situation, once again, you should make a recording. You should note down these kind of problematic places in one place. You should write down the task name, which is basically um, over here. You have your task name. You should note this down, and you should note down the clip number, 29. For example, 29, there's something I have no idea what the person is saying. So I will copy this and write down 29, and I will make a small note with me that I cannot understand. Or you can, copy this over here as well. And another thing which I would recommend is make a short recording and send it on the group, or send it to me directly, and I will help you out with it. Okay, so this way other people, will also get an idea what kind of problematic places can there be and how to solve them. A lot of times you can find the meaning just by the context. Context is very important. So, for example, you know that they're talking about Star Wars, for example, and they said some planet name in the middle from Star Wars, or for example, this is Chewbacca. So now maybe you haven't seen Star Wars and you don't know what is Chewbacca, but you can always go on Google and write down something like, you don't know what he said. You just heard Chewbacca. Like, you don't know what is the spelling. So you can write down star. Oh, sorry, Chinese keyboard. Problem of having too many keyboards on your phone. So Star Wars Chewbacca. Okay. See, so now it will automatically, the Google will correct you that basically that's how you spell Chewbacca. Okay, so that is one of the best ways to find missing links. So please keep the context, always notice the context, and don't give up until you have tried. Okay, but also don't waste too much time on very, very small, tiny, teeny details all the time as well. Right now, you might have to do that because the QC will be a little bit strict until you get accepted and start working in bulk. Until then, you need to make sure that you don't make any careless mistakes. I've checked a lot of people's work, and there's a lot of careless mistakes, and that is a big problem, because a lot of people, they're working very hard, and all the difficult parts they're transcribed perfectly, but then they, instead of writing sending, they write send, or instead of typing trying, they type try, or they miss an it or its, or they just miss a single a in the middle. So that's all counted as a mistake. If you even have like a full stop missing in one box, that whole box is considered a mistake, and they will ask you to go through it again and check it again and everything, and that's going to waste a lot of your time. So yeah, so that is, I think, pretty much it. Yeah, stammers and stutters. You need to type the stutters and the stammers. So, for example, if I was saying I'm going to Tokyo, so for example, like the way I said it, I said Tokyo. So you need to type. Um, you should transcribe it twice. Okay, so Tokyo. Don't think that, okay, he just said Tokyo and the other Tok doesn't make sense, so I don't need to transcribe it. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and please listen to this audio, this screen recording once again before you start working because it has a lot of important points. And if you are ever lost in your platform because of the Chinese or it just being a little bit complicated at first, please look at this video again or send me screenshots and I'll guide you through the process initially. Please don't do that, for the next couple of months. Okay, have a great day, guys. Goodbye.